Okay, welcome back to DB Talks episode 6. And today we're going to be diving deep into Barcelona's 4-2 away win against Celta Vigo in La Liga. So, we're going to talk about how this closes the gap between Barcelona and Real Madrid and this how crucial this win was, as well as a preview on both teams before we review the game overall.
Yeah, so today we saw Barcelona win 4-2 against Celta Vigo in a pretty interesting game. I think the first half it was very scary for Barcelona because we saw that both Barcelona's got a pen early in the game to get the lead, but then we saw immediately that Celta Vigo were able to equalize when Rashford missed a chance and they were able to counter very quickly, and with the high line, Celta Vigo were able to get the ball and they got a goal from it. It was basically a one-on-one with I think Carreras and Chesney. So, and then later in the first half, we also saw Barca score again, and then Celta Vigo equalize again. So we kind of saw more weakness from the Barca defense, which we've both been talking about, especially in like previous episodes. Just how that defense is a very big weakness that a lot of teams against Barcelona try to exploit, and something that we want to see Hansi Flick kind of develop and adapt to. So I think we'll see later on the season as it progresses if he will even like try to change it at all, because I've seen an interview where he said that he doesn't want to change his philosophy much and he wants to keep the high line. So it seems like he's very resistant to actually change anything, and he wants to stick with his idea, and he believes that it'll be a success at the end. So yeah, we'll just see how that goes.
Yeah, so just even before the game, for Barcelona, they were coming off their recent injury crisis. Yeah, then a lot of their major players are still injured. But we saw today Lewandowski start off for a long time, and today we saw how crucial he was for his hat trick and how he contributed to this attack. We also saw key players like Rashford. I think he was really good today. Yamal, I think again he's continuing his pickup in form. And I feel like Frankie De Jong, we're going to talk about him a bit later, but he was also really good. And then a tactical approach for Barca right now. I think when we came into this game, we kept up our high pressing. We tried to do quick transitions and play as wide as we could to stretch out Celta's defense. And in their first half, I just felt like we saw Barcelona's troubles this season highlighted again. And it was basically where our defense was so vulnerable. And even though our attack is doing pretty good, it just seems like even if we do score our chances, it's just as easy for our opponents to score their own chances, which is not sustainable. And for Celta Vigo, before this game, they were basically mid-table. They had some solid home form, and they did struggle to beat some big teams. But yeah, we always know that going away to Celta Vigo is going to be a tough fixture. And again, we know that guys like Borja Iglesias, he always turns up against us. Guys like Iago Aspas and Brian Zaragoza, they're always dangerous against Barca for some reason. And I feel like Borja Iglesias did have his impact, but the other two didn't do as much because they got subbed on later in the game. And they have a solid defense, I feel. And their goalkeeper is also pretty decent. I think Radu, I think he had some good moments in this game. But yeah, overall, in the first half, we saw a quick start for Barca. We saw them get awarded a penalty, and it was due to Marcus Alonso's ex Barca, ex Chelsea. I feel like he was playing as a double agent today. But yeah, he had a handball blocking Firmine's shot. And I feel that was the right decision, and we got a pen. And once I saw Lewandowski step onto it or take the pen, I felt a bit nervous because he did miss his last penalty. And again, when the keeper dived the right direction, I actually got scared for a minute because I thought it was going to get saved. But thankfully, it did go past the keeper, and Lewandowski did score his penalty. But again, as the season has progressed, we've seen how bad this defense has been. And just a minute later, we see that again another chance for Barcelona. Firmino plays a beautiful ball to Rashford, but he does end up not taking his chance fully. He ends up hitting it straight at the goalkeeper, and it basically is the shot's not converted. And right after that counter attack, Celta Vigo can go down the other end, and they had their own goal. And yeah, again, they Celta Vigo just exploit Barcelona's high line, and again, we just concede really early on. And then after this, we saw another moment for Barcelona in the 37th minute where Lewandowski got his second goal. And this was again a really good cross from Rashford, and Lewandowski another good goal from him. And then again, we saw Celta Vigo have another chance in the 43rd minute. Again, really quick after our Barcelona's lead, we saw Borja Iglesias, as we mentioned, one of the major threats in this game. We saw him get a beautiful goal. Again, it was due to Barcelona's high line. They just played a ball through the line. They just run down the line and then cross it in. And I don't know why Borja Iglesias was basically unmarked. I think Frankie De Jong, that was kind of his fault. I think he went to the center back position, even though he should have been marking Borja Iglesias because I feel he was fully open. And then when that ball went rolled into Borja Iglesias, he had a great shot and it just went past Chesney. I don't think that's really Chesney's fault. I think it's just a really good shot from him. And then yeah, after that moment, we just basically went into the later ends of halftime. But just before halftime, we saw a great, I guess, ball into the box, and Yamal had a great finish with his right foot. Initially, I thought that was out, like it hit the outside of the net, but it just squeezed by the keeper's near post, which is yeah, a really good goal from Yamal, and he continues his good form.
Yeah, I think also talking about like the lineups at the start of the game, we saw at Celta Vigo they had actually four ex-Barcelona players, so that was pretty interesting to see. And then with Barcelona, originally Casado was supposed to start over Olmo, but then I think Casado got like a knock during the warm-up, so he wasn't able to start, and then Olmo actually came on. So the midfield is basically De Jong, Firmino, and Olmo. And so you can kind of notice that it's two attacking players and then one like mainly defensive midfielder. So it's kind of weird because we're used to seeing the double pivot with Flick's Barcelona. So having mainly De Jong as the like defensive midfielder, we weren't really sure how it would work out. But I think it wasn't too bad. But I do think that with the red card that De Jong got in the game, we seen. I'm not sure how Barcelona will line up for the midfield during the Athletic Bilbao game, considering that we're not sure if Pedri will be back, and even if he is back, it's probably not the best to actually like overwhelm him with minutes. Like, he should probably like slowly integrate back in the team. So yeah, with De Jong and Pedri like kind of like not like De Jong not playing and Pedri kind of a doubt. It's kind of interesting to it'll be interesting to see how Barcelona line up. I can definitely see Casado and maybe someone like if Eric Garcia has to step up or even like Christensen, we can maybe see something like that. But I'm not sure. And yeah, we saw also this game the Lewandowski hat trick. Lewandowski had three very good goals. I think he had a very good game today. It kind of shows the importance of having that world class quality striker that Barcelona kind of need because even we saw last season that he was very important for Barcelona in terms of just the goal scoring, and yeah, I think he had the most Barcelona goals. So having someone like that and he's very experienced, so he's very yeah, if he has the ball, he's probably gonna finish to score the goal. And that was ultimately the difference of how Barcelona were able to get this victory. I think without Lewandowski, I think Barcelona may have not even gotten the 3 points. So yeah, he's definitely very crucial. And yeah, I think you also mentioned Lamine Yamal. I think Lamine Yamal played pretty. I think he was good today. He had a very good goal as well with the near post finish. And yeah, it's very good to see Lamine Yamal back coming in form. And we can definitely. I mean, we're going to have to see him play for Spain during the international break. So hopefully nothing happens with him. I do think that like there's still like some lingering tension between him and De La Fuente. So, but hopefully he's fine and nothing bad happens to him during then. And also, I want to talk about Rashford. Again, we keep on seeing Rashford, get goal contributions, and it's very nice to see. And he's definitely a very important player for Barca, especially on the attacking end. And with set pieces, I think Rashford has been Barcelona's best like set piece taker. Like he's the main one on corners and free kicks. But he does it so well, and Barcelona scored quite a few goals off corners with Rashford taking it. So I think he's very important for Barcelona in that regard of like set pieces. That's when Lewandowski scored the header, so it was a very good finish as well.
Yeah, you did mention Casado and how he was supposed to start. I think he did get an injury when he was trying to warm up. So yeah, I think Flick did go really attacking with his midfield, and I think that's why we saw Celta Vigo get many chances in this game, as well as the high line issues. I don't know why. Flick is not starting Bernal as much. I know that he came off a big injury, but I feel like he's been back for quite a while. So yeah, I don't know why Bernal's not getting as many minutes. And also, I think Flick needs to call up more La Masia midfielders because we've seen how almost dire our midfield depth is right now. So yeah, that's gonna be important to look at. And you also did mention Lewandowski and his goals. I think just like that sort of presence in the box, I think that's so important for this Barcelona team. And I think in the future, next season, maybe in the summer, we need to sign a major striker, someone like Lewandowski replacement. So guys like I think Osimhen is a mention, Holland, that's like the dream signing, or someone like Panicelli, more developmental. So yeah, someone like that, I think that's going to be really important. And yeah, also right now, even though Lewandowski's only started 4 games, he's scored already 7 La Liga goals. So he's already in like the second position for the Pichichi award, just behind Mbappe, who has 13 goals. And I do think Mbappe is going to win the Pichichi this year. But yeah, it's just interesting to see how Lewandowski's still scoring a lot of goals at his old age. So yeah, a great striker for Barca. But yeah, let's move on to the second half. So I think this half was a great example of what Flick adapted to and how he changed this Highland setup and for the better of the team. I think we just saw like Barcelona take much more control in this half and dominate Celta Vigo. And instead of, I feel like the passing and possession wise, that's our best method of defense because we don't give away the ball as much and we kind of hold the ball and don't let the other team counterattack as much. So I think that was a great decision from Flick. And I just thought we were much more stable in defense. I don't think we conceded a single like clear cut chance for Celta Vigo in the second half, which is really good to see. Um, but yeah, I think we had a lot of chances in the second half. We saw chances for Rashford and Olmo, who had some good shots that were saved by the keeper. And that third Lewandowski goal, I think that was just a beautiful goal. Again, another Rashford assist. It was from a corner this time, and it was in the near post. And then a great header from Lewandowski. I mean, we just seen how good he is in his air presence, which is just so good. And yeah, he completed his hat trick, which was crucial for Barca and to win this game. And yeah, I just felt like in this second half, Barcelona had a lot more defensive discipline, and Celta Vigo were unable to get back into it or have any momentum to come back, which was really good to see. I feel like in future games, if Flick can instill this sort of discipline and like this sort of possession type of defense, I think it's going to be much better to be more stable in the season and not concede as many goals as we've seen so far. Um, but yeah, another major moment in the second half, we saw the Frankie De Jong late red card. I personally feel it was a pretty weak second yellow card. But yeah, it was he was given a red card, so that's going to be crucial for the Bilbao game because I feel like he's been our best midfielder so far. A bit when after Pedri's injury, I think he's been our best midfielder. He's controlled games for us, and also been basically our whole midfield. Has gone through Frankie De Jong. And I think because of this red card, Flick will have to adapt. I don't know who he's going to be able to start against Bilbao because we saw Casado get injured. Bernal's not been starting as much. And I don't think we have a single proper like defensive midfield option right now. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Flick can adapt and change his lineup to suit Bilbao.
I also kind of forgot, but Pedri did get a red card before he got injured, so I think even if he were to come back for the next game, he can't play it anyways. So I wouldn't really want to play it. I think it's better just rest. But yeah, I think second half Barcelona were a lot better because no, I don't know, the first half the defense was just very shaky, and then second half you saw it kind of improved a lot more. And yeah, Barcelona didn't really give any clear cut chances, so yeah, Barcelona were able to keep that lead, and eventually they were able to kind of steal the game with the Lewandowski header. I think that just kind of ended off the game and kind of guaranteed Barcelona those 3 points. And but I do think that Celta Vigo are a bit scary, and I know that before the game, you mentioned before, like the players Aspas, Zaragoza, Iglesias, uh, a lot of Barcelona fans were actually very scared to play because those players are very good and they can definitely show up for Barcelona. So there's definitely some fear. of like if like Celta Vigo can actually like beat Barcelona, but that didn't happen. So yeah, I think Barcelona overall just played very solid. I think it could definitely be a lot more improved. And yeah, I just think it was a solid performance. I think with the international break, I think Flick will have more time to just try to make this team better and try to maybe hopefully adapt his tactics or just kind of strengthen it. So hopefully we see that. And I also want to mention the Koundé, because Koundé he felt like discomfort a few days ago, so he wasn't able to play this game. So we saw Eric Garcia at right back. And we saw Eric Garcia with a mask today because we saw that in the last game he suffered like a elbow to the face, so he had to wear a mask today. But yeah, I think with Koundé, I think yeah, we talked about this before as well. Koundé is kind of like he's not in great form right now. He's kind of dipped in form, and he just isn't his usual self. So I think him having, I guess, like with his injury, he's not like with some time off basically. I think hopefully, when he comes back, he's going to be able to pick up his form again, and just become the best right back in the world because we know that he's capable of that, and we've kind of seen it in past seasons where he's played very good as a right back. So I think Kudus will be a very important piece for Barcelona going forward this season. So yeah, I think hopefully we see Koundé just regain his form. And yeah, I think hopefully the defense overall just improves. I'm not sure how it will really improve. I don't know if like a signing will even happen in January. I saw some Slaughterbeck links, though I'm not sure if it's like real or not. But I saw some Slaughterbeck links. I think that would be definitely very huge for Barcelona. But I'm not sure if it's like even realistic. But someone like that who's can definitely help with the high line, I think will be a very useful signing for this Hansi Flick era because yeah, his philosophy just relies on just attacking, high press, high intensity, but also playing the high line. So it kind of feels inevitable that Barcelona will always have this high line, and it's just something we're going to see no matter what. And he's not really going to change it unless something disastrous happens, unless like the board demands him to change it. I just think I think he's one of those managers that just wants to stick with his beliefs, and I think he believes in it more than anyone else that he thinks that it will turn out to be a success.
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway from this game was how Barcelona in the second half were able to be solid defensively. I think Flick, if he keeps that up, I think we're gonna have a lot more games where we can control properly, and the games like Club Brugge will not repeat itself. I think dropping the high line a bit, I think taking more control of the possession and playing smart, I think that's gonna be better for this Barcelona team at the moment. And yeah, I think Kunde missing out today. I think he did have some discomfort, so I think it's good for him to get a bit of a break. Maybe in this also in this international break. I think if he gets some time off, I think he can take a moment to regain his form. And I do think Eric Garcia has filled in well. I think he's basically our best utility man. He can play center back, he can play right back, he can play even DM if he needs to. So that's going to be interesting to see if Flick does use him in the DM area for our next game because of how many injuries we have in that area and because of the two red cards we have in Pedri and Frankie De Jong. But yeah, I do think overall my top three players for this game for Barca were Lewandowski, of course, with his hat trick. I think honestly, I'm still gonna put Frankie De Jong in there, even though his red card he did get a red card. I still think he was one of our best players today. He was basically controlling the whole game. I just feel like this red card did ruin his kind of performance a bit. But yeah, he still was really good. And my third best player, I think, honestly, would be either between Rashford or Yamal. I think both of them had their moments, but again, both of them were not fully involved. Some of the time. I think Rashford can do a bit better when he's going one on one on his man. I think he takes too many heavy touches sometimes, and also sometimes maybe making not like the not sometimes making the wrong decision. Like sometimes he just shoots instead of making a smart pass to one of his teammates. And saying similar to Yamal, I think Yamal did have a great goal, but I just feel sometimes he just goes a bit too deep. And yeah, I don't think sometimes our team just doesn't go through him as much as we saw last season. So yeah, I think he is gaining his form, but I think overall the team did play well today, and yeah, props to them.
Yeah, so my top three is actually like basically the same. I would have Lewandowski, De Jong, and I think I'll put Lamine Yamal in that top three. Basically for the same reasons. Like yeah, Lewandowski a hat trick. He basically decided the game. Three very good finishes. He's had a great game. And De Jong just yeah, I think with the absence of Pedri and even like Casado, having De Jong step up is it's very important. And he's definitely shown very world class quality in the midfield. And yeah, Lamine Yamal, I think Lamine Yamal, I think he played good. I think he could have done a bit better, but he got the goal that gave Barca the lead before the second half. And I think overall his dribbling is good. He did lose the ball a few times, but I think that's just natural. If you're gonna keep on taking on your man, you're gonna lose the ball sometimes. But some other players that I'll just highlight, give some credit to. I think Firmino was, I think Firmino was okay. I mean, I definitely think that he's a very big threat going offensively, but I do think he can be a bit greedy. And I do remember the one chance he had where he took a touch, but it was a very heavy touch, so he wasn't able to shoot it. And so he took some time to shoot it, and he kind of like didn't get a good shot off. It got blocked. So yeah, I think with for me, he's very threatening, but there's some games where I feel like he can do more because he's definitely capable of scoring a lot of goals. It's just the problem is, sometimes he's a bit too selfish. So and that can kind of hurt Barcelona's attack and like the synergy around it. So hopefully we see some hopefully that like kind of improves with Fermin. He gets less selfish and he can also take better chances and like use the chances better. I think Rashford's also someone else that can also take his chances better as well. And I guess I want to also credit Eric Garcia because you mentioned before Eric Garcia is like the best utility man. He's been Barcelona's best defender this whole season, this season so far. And so yeah, I definitely think that him like playing right back as well is just very important for Barcelona to have because if he wasn't able to play that, I'm not sure who would play right back. Probably like Araujo. So yeah, definitely credit him. And yeah, I think it was pretty solid performance. I mean, I think it was a solid performance by like everyone. I don't think anyone played too bad. So that's definitely good because we've seen games before where some players just didn't play like good at all. So hopefully this just keeps on improving.
Yeah, I think overall this game was a good sign for just before the international break. I think it gives us good form, and also because we saw today Madrid drew against Rayo Vallecano away, so yeah, it cuts down the Madrid's lead to only 3 points. So if they do lose the game and Barcelona end up taking their chances and winning their game, we do end up being on the same points. And Barcelona does have a higher goal difference by one. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the league shapes up in the next few weeks. But yeah, it's going to be. I think this game was really important for Barcelona and how they can move on with their season. But I hope for the international break, I hope none of our players get any new injuries. So that's going to be really important, and it's going to be interesting to see how Flick takes this international break and kind of revises his plan on how to set up his team and how to best tactically fit each of the players' needs to get the best results for our team. But yeah, please let us know what you thought of Lewandowski's hat trick after his comeback from injury. Let us know how what you think of Barcelona's title chances after this win. And yeah, we're gonna be looking forward to how Barcelona pick up form before their big Champions League fixture against Chelsea. But yeah, please leave a comment down below. Let us know if we can improve anything. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.